Hi my friend, it's Pat Sloan and it is our daily video where I've got a topic for today. I have a Q&A, which is going to be sort of an ongoing Q&A. And then I found some Barbie fabric. We need to talk Barbies. But first let's talk the topic of the day, which if you look at your calendar, it says tool talk. Now I have no idea what I was thinking about because I just don't have a whole lot of ability to go through and try tools, show you tools, do anything with tools. So I don't know what I think I was being overly optimistic that I was going to, sure, I'll be able to demo and show you some tools. So instead I pulled out one of my favorite tools that somebody in the Facebook group showed during their tour of their studios, and everybody was showing pictures of their studios. They showed one of these on their desk, which are the Stash and Stores. So there are two sizes. This is the little one, which is so cute. And I've got, here, let me just, here, come down here. So these are pliable, they're very pliable. So, you know, I can squish them around and, you know, if I want to fit in the pen, I can fit it in the bigger hole. I can fit it in the little hole if it's a smaller pen that I don't want it to, you know, rock back and forth. But I have two of these on my table, and this one holds the rulers, and they've got a nice sturdy base, so they don't fall over unless you knock them, which anything would fall over, right? So I can put these two rulers that I use all the time, so they're up on the top, and then on the other end I've got some of the scissors and pens that I'm using a lot. So these are the pens I've been using to mark the fabric in order to cut for the stars up there. So the Stash and Stores are one of my favorite tools, and they come in a bunch of different colors. So both the small and the large. Like if you love purple, they now have a purple one, and they have a navy, and they have, I think they have pink and green. So you can get whatever color, and these are fabulous for people if you're thinking about Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. These are great because they can be for anybody to use, like by the telephone, by their PC, by their reading nook. Remember reading nooks yesterday? That's like, so they could be by their reading nook and, you know, put in a pen or you know, whatever it is they like to keep there. So I think they're fabulous for everybody to use, and we should all have some. The links are down below. Links are down below. So before we go on to that, I want to remind you that we have, get my nice rolling assistant over here a little closer. So we're going to do a project from the Layer Cake book. You can sew along. I will be doing the birthday quilt, which is this guy from the book with Halloween fabric, but you can do whichever quilt you like in there if you want to do a different one. And you can also use any fabric, you know, so it takes a layer cake. So I wanted to remind you about this, and then I want to answer a question that came up on our community, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan at Facebook. One of our friends asked if I would explain a little more how the sew-alongs work, because, you know, everybody runs a sew-along a little bit differently, and mine's pretty simple. So they're run by me posting at my website. And so if we're running from a book, I will give an assignment. I might have a tip or a trick or something like that. Then I will mention it here on the YouTube. So since it comes out, if it's a download, if it's a free pattern I'm doing, then like the going on a picnic, then the download will be at my website. So the key is to be getting my emails. That's the number one thing. Get my emails. Number two would be to get these videos. By the way, YouTube has changed how they send video, how video subscriptions work. Like, not subscriptions, like when you subscribe, it means they would send you a notice. They're not really sending the email notices the same way anymore, so you want to be sure you're getting notices sent to your phone. So in order to join one of my sew-alongs, get my email by signing up, the links below, and then getting the videos, you know, getting a notice of new videos, which will be usually embedded also in the blog post. So that's the basics of it. Each one will be set up a little bit differently. Generally, if I'm running it and it's mine, it's all at my website, but occasionally I do things with other people where I'm just one of the people in it. So like the Jelly Snowflake, for the first round, you visited 5 different websites. Each week you visited somebody else. But normally that's not the way they run. Normally they're all on my place. So, and when I rerun the Jelly Snowflake, it'll all be on mine. So we won't be visiting anybody else. It'll just be all on mine since it's already public. Right? Okay, so you got that? Yay, you're all set? Yay. All right, this is it. I just have to show you. We're going to talk Barbies here, because there's a really cute Barbie fabric that came out. Look, 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 look. Oh my gosh, I love Barbies. I love Barbies. When I was a kid, I had Barbies, and we are going to look in this little gold box together. So let me show you the fabric first. I just got a charm pack. And on the back, it does show you, and I'll link you so you can see it online, but it shows you the different prints. So it's pink, basically bubblegum pink, lots of repeats. So there's a stripe, and then it's got pink and white. There is some cameos. There's like the little face. So it's like in here. Can we see the face? But there's way down. So we're just gonna pull it out. There we go. So here we got the face, the Barbie face, and then it just has the words Barbie. You know, this is all licensed artwork, you know, from the company that owns Barbie, whoever that is nowadays. So there's the black and white faces. Then there's also, so everything is then repeated from there. So there's also these cool circles. Just pull that out too. So they've got the image, the silhouette, and the Barbie, and that's done in a couple colors. And I love there's black and pink, and then I love the stripe because the stripe says Barbie on there. So this is so cool. This is my favorite. The sort of like iconic Barbie to me. Like it's the like the one of the originals. I believe Barbie was created the year I was born. We don't need to talk about what that year was, but it was the year I was born. So she is, she's so young. Barbie's so young. So this box, I'm not holding the box. This is just the lid. I had Greg take the lid off. Greg carried the box down. Greg got the box down off the shelf after he got open and took down about 5 other boxes because I was looking for the box my Barbies are in. And I didn't remember where they were. But, ta-da! Finally, I actually looked the other day because I think I have like a keychain. I used to have a keychain Barbie, and I don't know where she is. So in here is one of my first Barbies. There she is. I have not opened this box in a lot of years, and so when I opened it, it was sort of like, oh, look, I forgot all this stuff. So here, I'll just show you briefly. I've got, I think this is Midge. I think this is her, Midge was like the cousin or something. Look, she's got a camera. I think this was the cousin. And these are sort of old-fashioned clothing, huh? I don't know where that came from, but this box has got a bunch of clothing, including one of these, which are outfits made that my great-grandmother purchased. She and my great-aunt purchased these for me as a gift and gave them to me. I have to take pictures of these and show my mom. So they were made by somebody. This is ribbon on here because they didn't sew. They didn't do this kind of work, but they purchased it. Oh, there's Mrs. Florence Stombach from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is who they purchased this from. So she was making and selling Barbie clothes to people to give to their kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. So I've got like, look at this dress. This is so 60s, right? Look at that. Awesome. And there's a little handbag that I don't think was a Barbie handbag. It looks like somebody made that. Maybe you guys are making them for your grandkids. Oh, look at all the clothes in here. So I am going to have a fun time. I'm going to go through and look at the clothes later. Is Midge the same size? Midge is like, yeah, they're basically, she's like a little smaller doll than the other one. Okay, so tell me your Barbie stories. I hope you have one. I hope you have one. And if you more were like you collected Ken or G.I. Joe, that was my brother. Barbie and G.I. Joe did a lot together at my house. They were friends, just friends, hanging out, doing things. So tell me about Tell me about who you hung out with. Barbie, G.I. Joe, Ken, whatever. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this fabric. I think it's super cute. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I think just make a cute, maybe a cute tote bag. Maybe a little runner for up in my bedroom. Greg would love that, right? A Barbie runner in the bedroom. Poor man. Okay, so for Q&A, I was going through the questions. You have this great list over at my community on Facebook, and one of the questions was a series of questions that came from Kathy, and Kathy had not one, not two, but 5 questions. So I thought, well, let's just take one a day over the next 5 days and answer Kathy's questions, because they were a lot of fun. So I have to look on here and see. 5 questions, Kathy. Okay, so the question for today, the question from Kathy for today is, she wants to know, do I ever use different fabrics other than cotton to quilt with? And the answer is yes. Yes, I have. Because I come from a garment making background, a home decor background. That's where I started to sew. So to me, fabric is fabric is fabric. I will use it if I feel like I can get it together. Also, if you look at crazy quilts, which have been done for years, they have lots of different fibers on them, from wool to velvets to linens. So I like slubby, sort of linen-y type stuff. And I thought another thing I made Greg get me, he had to go like up on the top shelf up there and grab it down, was some of my more linen-like fabric. So I have these huge big dots, and it's sort of it's heavier than cotton, and it's sort of a linen-y like stuff. But this is the one that I love. Okay, let me see if I can open. This is big. Like he says, this is a big piece of fabric. It's like, yes. So it is the anchors. But I don't know if you can tell, in the background of the anchors is like a map, sort of like stylized. It's not really, I don't know, sort of stylized map, boats, words. It's just that background texture behind it that makes me swoon. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. So what will I do with this? This was, I think I was going to make like pillows or something like that, bags. But I could put it in a quilt. I could put it as a border because it's not too heavy a weight. It's just a little bit more. And no, I don't worry that it's going to shrink the quilt weird. If you put enough quilting on it, it's going to be fine. You think about it, if you've got 2 rows of quilting, how much can it shrink in between there? Like how much pull and difference can there be if you've got like a 1/2 inch or something between? But also, you know, how are you going to use that quilt? You know, and if you want to, you can always do a test. You can always test it and see how it shrinks. And you could wash it in advance. Imagine that. And then if you wash it in advance, it's already shrunk, and then it can go with your regular cottons. I used to use upholstery fabric all the time. I have used pretty heavier weight stuff, but generally that's incorporated with bags, you know, so that, you know, like sort of like that little bag that I showed you in here with the Barbie stuff, wherever it went. I mean, this is a heavier texture. You know, it is not, you know, maybe you can see that. It is not like regular cotton texture at all. So, okay. Thank you, Kathy. We'll be hearing Kathy's next questions for the next 4 days. They're good questions. Thank you. I love it. It's like a series, a question series. Okay, everybody. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you online. I love you. Mwah.